Hey everyone, this is F-Bodies Live, and today we're going to be talking about the Escalation shotgun, or better yet known as the Escalation Protocol shotgun. Let's see what's under the hood of this bad boy. So, first perk we have here is Rifle Barrel. I don't like this perk. All it does is decrease the range, so we're not going to go with that one. I use the second. It increases range, even though range does not do that much for you in Destiny 2. The third option is increased stability. Since this is a PvE, mostly review, stability is not really going to do a whole lot for you in PvE because you're going to be right in the target's face almost always. Second perk here is Trench Barrel, and this is what makes this weapon unique. After you land a melee hit, not even a kill, just a melee hit, the weapon gets increased damage up to 50%, I believe, for 4 seconds. Our last perks here, we have Moving Target and Threat Detector. I don't like Moving Target because in PvE I use this for the larger enemies, and most of the time they are not that fast, so it's pretty easy to line up a shot. I would rather have Threat Detector. It increases my reload, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity, which is pretty much always in PvE. So when I was testing this weapon for this review, I wanted to see first how much damage Trench Barrel actually gave you while it was active. So in this shot here, you can see that each pellet does 224 to 225 shots with nothing on. That's just base damage from the gun. Now, in this next clip I want to show is I'm going to punch the target first, and then I'm going to shoot, and you can see that the damage goes up to 336 and 337 per pellet. This is a 50.4-ish% increase in damage. It's a huge increase in damage for minimal effort. The next thing that I wanted to do when testing this weapon is to compare it to a weapon in the same archetype as the EP shotgun. So I chose Perfect Paradox, and the reason that I chose it is because it has perks on it that increase the damage. So Perfect Paradox has Rampage, which stacks damage per kill. So what I did is I went back into the same area and tested the Perfect Paradox on the same group of enemies that I tested the EP shotgun on. So the first shot I'm not going to show, it's the same archetype, so it did 224 and 225 per bullet. With one Rampage stack on Perfect Paradox, I got 266 and 267. With a second stack of Rampage, it went up to 314 and 315. And then with the third stack, it finally outdid the Trench Barrel perk on Escalation Protocol shotgun at 370. The problem with this is, on the Perfect Paradox, is that you actually have to get a kill to get these damage perks, and Rampage doesn't last that long. So it's super situational where the Perfect Paradox could outdamage the EP shotgun. It's super rare that you're going to be able to kill 3 enemies right together and then start working on a major enemy or a boss. The EP shotgun is just so much better because all you have to do is just punch anything and you get that 50% buff. Now that we've talked about perks and actual damage comparisons between the Escalation Protocol shotgun and Perfect Paradox, let's talk about some of the other stats and ways that they stack up against each other. So on paper, on the actual comparison screen here, Perfect Paradox has a little bit more range, a little bit more stability, and a little bit more reload. But to me, all of these things pale in comparison to the Trench Barrel perk you're going to get with the Escalation shotgun. The reload speeds you're not even going to notice them, in my opinion, as well as the stability or the range. So we've gotten the scientific mumbo jumbo out of the way. Now let's talk about practical uses for this gun as well as a few negatives to this gun. First off, this thing is an absolute boss melter. It pairs extremely well with the Sunbreaker Titan, the top tree Sunbreaker Titan with Melting Point. Melting Point does stack with Trench Barrel, and it is extremely lethal. I would also pair this with Syntheseps. You're going to be running around punching things anyway, so you might as well be getting a pretty good bit of damage out of your melees, so I would run that as well. Some of the drawbacks of the weapon that I have noticed after playing with it for a good little while is that if you're planning on using it against large bosses, it is annoying because they will ground slam you and blow you back 100 feet. And part of the reason why I say it synergizes pretty well on the Titan is because of shoulder charge. What you can do with shoulder charge, or whatever those other ones are, the hammer strike, is you can run up to the boss, and as they ground slam, activate your hammer strike or shoulder charge, whatever, and it will basically negate the knockback effect of the boss. So that way you hit the target, you got 4 seconds of trench barrel. That's plenty of time for you to empty all 8 shots into the boss's face, and you're going to do some ridiculous damage. The negatives are, if you're not on a Titan, is if you're trying on a Warlock or Hunter, you're going to melee the target or the boss, and he's going to do the ground slam, and he's going to throw you 50 feet away. And by the time you get back to him, you've only got like 1 or maybe 0 seconds on the trench barrel timer, and you're only going to be able to get like 2-3 shots on the boss with that 50% buff. That's the annoying part. Another thing is you're running around punching things. You're putting yourself kind of in danger by doing that, especially on a big boss. If you're running right up to its face and punching it, you're going to take a huge amount of damage from the ground slam. Plus, there's all these other ads shooting you. And most of this experience is in Escalation Protocol, where there's bunches of other enemies around and they're hitting you. You're going to get ground slammed, and then you're going to want to try to play aggressive to try to get that damage on trench barrel. But you're already weak. You're going to get ground slammed again, most likely. And I've died a couple times from that. But aside from this shotgun is a total beast, and I would highly recommend it over any other shotgun in this archetype. Alright, appreciate y'all watching the video, and we will catch you next time. Please like and subscribe for more content on Destiny 2.